Welcome back to Fiercely Unfiltered. I'm your host, Kelly Renee. And with it being September, it's actually Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And I wanted to talk a little bit about mental health and suicide. This is a huge topic. It affects a lot of people, especially veterans. Did you know that over the past 22 years, over 6,000 veterans have died by suicide every year for 22 years? That is so consistent and scary to me. I just want to pause and let everyone know that there's resources for everybody. If you feel like you need to talk to someone, feel like you're at the end of your rope, you can call 988. And that is a hotline where you'll be transferred to a suicide counselor or a mental health counselor, and they will help you. And if you're a veteran, you can call 988 and then push 1. And it will route you to a therapist who deals with veterans and the extra that comes with being a veteran. And this is something everyone should do if you need it. It's a resource. And if you need help, but you're not at the point where you feel like you're going to take your own life, but you feel like you want support, the VA also has help for you there. I actually, in the last episode, talked about how I might need counseling, someone to talk to. And I actually called the mental health number for veterans. They took my name and number, and within 2 days, someone called me. And then within 3 days, I have an intake appointment. And they're going to talk to me about it. And I was approved actually before I even had my intake appointment for 1 year counseling, as much as I need. It's with a local provider that I get to pick. And if I don't like the provider, I get to switch providers. I can go multiple times a week if needed. We're going to see what I need at this point. But there's resources. And it's not weak to ask for help. It's actually brave to ask for help. And I'm at the point where I no longer think about killing myself or hurting myself. I think everyone struggles with mental health daily. But I do focus a lot of my life on my mental health and doing what I need to do to be okay. And I understand life gets hard and any little thing can throw someone off their journey. So I wanted to reach out and get someone to talk to while I'm in a decent place. I don't know still if it's a decent place because I still have a lot of progress to make, I guess. But I just want people to understand that you're not alone. There are resources for you and that you can't be ashamed of needing to talk to someone. It's okay to not be okay. They say that for veterans, for women veterans, especially from 2001 to 2021, the suicide rate for female veterans doubled. And then for female veterans also from the year 2020 to 2021, it jumped up 24%. But because of programs that they have, we have women programs also that are just specialized for women. It dropped back down 24% between 2021 and 2022. So there is resources, there is help. You don't need to be alone. So call 988. And if you're a veteran, call 988 and push 1. If you're not in crisis situation, but you feel like you could get there, but you just want to be proactive, I don't know the number for everyone's area, but you could Google it, Chat GPT it. There's a mental health hotline where you call and you tell them what you need. Do you need, and when they called me back, they were like, I felt very taken care of. They're like, what's your address? Where do I need to send someone to help if something happens during this call? I said, I'm good. I'm not at that point, but thank you. But if you are at that point, these people care. They want to help you. It's like, when I was at a really bad point in my life, when I should have called probably 988 years ago, I actually reached out to family members. And I just always thought that if you're in a bad time and you reach out to family, that they'll be there for you. I didn't understand all the politics and the grudges and the secret haters and stuff. So when I reached out to my family for help and they wouldn't even meet me for lunch, it was a very lonely place. And I really wish I had already set up a support system for myself. So when that happened, I had someone to help me. And sometimes it's better to have a professional because, friends aren't born with the skills to help someone in need. Like, that's why they have professionals. And even if you don't have VA healthcare, it doesn't matter. If you're a vet, the VA has tons of resources for you. I actually went down to the San Bernardino Veterans Affairs Center a couple weeks ago. And I sat there, I think it was an hour and a half wait. It was a walk-in basis. And I went in there and I asked them what resources there were for me as a disabled vet. And there's tons of resources. There's actually resources for me to go back to school so I can get a job because I'm starting over in my life. So you're not alone. Veterans, you're not alone. There's a whole community of people to help you. I know everyone hears bad things about the VA system, but that's my healthcare now recently because my other healthcare is no longer. And I get calls back within 24 hours. My appointments are only 2 to 3 weeks out, which is just as good as a civilian doctor. So I want people to understand that it's okay to not be okay. And the world is hard. And especially for veterans who are trying to make it back into the civilian life, they say the first year of getting out is the hardest. They say that also, 75% of veteran suicides are done by handguns because they're familiar with them, they understand them. And only about 50% of suicides are done with guns for civilians. And veterans are 57% higher to commit suicide than non-veterans. The stuff some of these veterans had to see and go through and then come back and adjust back to civilian life and be okay. It's just not reality. Some people need extra help, and that's okay. And they have those resources. We no longer want 17 to 22 veterans a day to die by suicide. That's a number that needs to go down. I wish it was 0. And especially since some of these veterans, I don't know, they probably don't know where to reach out for help, or maybe they're ashamed to reach out for help, or they don't want to be a burden on anyone, but your life matters. You matter. Your life matters, and people care. And you just have to never give up. You wouldn't give up on your comrades in the military, so don't give up on yourself. Want to say it again, dial 988 if you need it. If you're a veteran, press 1 to get connected to people who understand veterans. But suicide is not the answer. The answer is getting help and figuring it out, because you don't have to feel the way you feel. If you think you're just supposed to be happy, that's not true. Happiness is a choice. It's something you have to wake up every day and do. I'm still at the point where I need help. I'm able to focus and I have discipline. I was a soldier. I'm able to wake up and do what I need to do for myself and to be healthy, but I still need help in other areas. And I know that. And I'm going to get the support I need. And I'm going to get someone to talk to. I know I say this podcast I use for healing, and I do, but it doesn't give back to me tools and resources and stuff that I need to get through my day. But I'm hoping that I can bring my audience resources. Like if you're a veteran, or if you know someone who is a veteran and they just need a little extra help in life. Spend a day and go down to your Veterans Affairs office. There's one in San Diego. There's one in Riverside. There's one in San Bernardino. They have departments for everything to help you. Maybe you had some stuff wrong with you in the military. They can help you get service connected. They can help you get medical. They can help you get school. If you have the GI Bill, I just found out the other day that it will pay for you to go to golf school. There's a golf school for 16 months that I might sign up through VA, but they'll pay for you to go to golf school. They'll pay for your clubs. They'll help you get skilled for a job that you want to do. And so you're happy. They're not trying to just put you in a job so you could survive. They want you to have a good quality of life. So there's also one other thing I want to bring up just because it's veterans talking on this. I actually had a son who's already in college doing stuff, so I'm unable to help him at this point. But you always hear where if you were in the military, you kids can go to school for free in California. That's actually true. If you go down to your Veterans Affairs office, and if your child is making less than poverty, which is $22,000 a year, so if they're right out of high school and haven't got a good job yet, it works for them. But there's a fee waiver form, and they'll sign a form, and you can go to any California school and they'll waive all the fees for your kid. I think you might have to be 10% disabled or 10% service connected, but I'm not sure. I think there's a lot of exceptions. So there is help for your children. There's help for spouses. So I just want everyone to understand that Veterans Affairs offices, there's some big offices, 3 right around me in California. I'm sure there's some in any state. Just take a day of your time and go down and talk to a counselor and see what help they have for you. And then also for this mental health line, you don't have to have a doctor in the VA. You don't have to be in the VA system. You just have to be a veteran. And there's that mental health hotline. Maybe I'll flash it during the episode on my screen, but you just call the hotline. All you have to do is be a veteran, and it's like your support system. They help you get a therapist. They pay for the therapist. They check up on you to make sure you're okay. You're just not a number. They actually care. And it's very eye-opening to actually reach out for this help and to be getting it. So I just want everyone to understand suicide's not the answer. You matter. Your life matters. And if you know anyone or even yourself that needs help and you're in crisis, call 988. And again, veterans, you call 988 and you dial 1. And if you're not in crisis, but you know that you need support, there's numbers for that too. Let's support each other and make sure people we know are okay, and check up on people and just help them get the resources they need, because they are out there. Until next time, never give up.